and bought brand new car, two of those, not one. Had this house. Don't know whether you guys remember those terms and conditions. It's 5x1 balloon arms and all those stuff with 0% down, and you name all those crazy terms. And we were having this typical American life that we were aiming to live. But in 2007, my father was treated of cancer, and then being the eldest son, I had to go to India several times. Trips to India is not cheap, by the way, it's pretty expensive. And in 2008, something happened. It's called the financial crisis. And so the automotive market started coming down, and me being part of the automotive sector, I saw these houses going on for $70,000. And being a naive guy, I didn't know what was happening. In 2008, God decided to take our child away. Went through miscarriage, but it was pretty late in the term, and so we had to do a funeral on November 1st, 2008. We laid Jeremy to rest. In 2009, we went through another miscarriage. So those 2.5 years, you have all this emotional pain. You lose your father, you lose 2 children, and on the top you have this financial pain. You don't have money to pay for all these things. And as sweet as my wife is, we started having money fights in our house. It's very common. So every time she goes to the store, I will start looking at what exactly she bought, because I'm trying to reduce the payment so we can need these funds. I see some of you laughing because it's happening in your house too. And so I still remember one of the stories. It's very funny now thinking back. She went and bought a 2-pack soap. So I said, Kitty, why do you buy 2-pack soap? And she looked, because we have 2 bathrooms. I said, what if you take your soap, cut it into half, and use it in 2 different bathrooms? And she gave me this look. And if you don't know, the place where she grew up, throwing pots and pans is an Olympic event. And so I left that place, and I never mentioned that again in my life. Now, fast forward, it was a very tough time, but by God's grace and by Dave Ramsey's financial coaching, we turned around. And 4 years down the line, in 2012, we became debt-free, and today we are in the path of hopefully retiring early and going into some sort of a ministry or something like that. So when we turn around and ask what exactly happened, we were living from paycheck to paycheck. That was the only reason why we went into this mess, because when a catastrophic event happened, or maybe more than one, we couldn't deal with it because we had no slush fund. We were living paycheck to paycheck. Now Wall Street reports that 70% of the people live paycheck to paycheck. So to bring it home, look around, 10 of your friends, 7 of them are living paycheck to paycheck. And if you cannot find one, it may be you. So why do we get into this habit? Even though we know that's not the right thing to do, but why do we get into the habit? 2 reasons. One is fear of missing out. I have never seen an advertisement on the TV that says that the sale is going to end in 1 month from now. It says it's going to end today. Go buy, go buy. But I've never heard somebody saying that, you know what, your time in this world is limited. Go love your spouse and your children today. I never heard that. Now, loving your children doesn't mean that you go to the Toys R Us and move the whole shop into your house. That's not what it means. Neither do the Tiffany's or the Jarrett's. Love is spelled T-I-M-E. So that is one reason why we get into this huge mess. The second reason is keeping up with the Joneses, and we all know that. In the Bible, I read that you fix your eyes on the author and perfecter of life, Jesus Christ. But we have changed it into a situation where we look into our neighbors and their cars and their house. So the situation is like, you are broke, your brother-in-law is broke squire, and by following him, you became broke cute. I'm an engineer, so I have to use some mathematical formula. So there you go. So Dave Ramsey says that you buy things that you don't need with the money that you don't have to impress people that you don't like. You buy things that you don't need with the money that you don't have to impress people that you don't like, and then we work morning and evening, and evenings and nights, and overtimes and double overtimes, and crazy work hours to pay off all those debts. And in that process, you miss out the very calling of your life. So if you don't get, how many of you believe that you are an accident in this world? Nobody. Accident. You are all created as a masterpiece. Bible says that you are created as a masterpiece because God has an intent in your life. You are not an accident, you are a masterpiece. So if you don't get anything today, I want you to do one thing. I want you to go to your bathroom after the service, look at that mirror and ask these two questions. Who am I and what am I here in this world for? Who am I and what am I here in this world for? And when you know that answer to those questions, you know the calling in life. Why are you here in this world? And when you know that your calling is too great and your God is too good and your life is too short but valuable, you refuse. You refuse to spend your money, energy and time on anything, on all this unwanted stuff, but rather pursue your calling with everything that you have in life. And unfortunately, finances play a huge role because broke people never helped anybody. They are in the rat race. You know, in the Bible, there's a story of the lost son. Right? Everybody knows that story. He went and squandered his father's money and ended up in the pig shop to eat the pig food. Then he had this great awakening that my father's house has a lot of food. So some of you here are in that shape. You know that your finances are not going in the right direction. You are having fights with your children, your spouse, or it can be in your children's household too. You have not started for your retirement, though you are very close to that. You are getting calls from the collectors. Doesn't matter what it is. It's time for you to have an awakening. Now you can blame it on other people, you can blame it on the president, on the Congress, on your employer, on your spouse, on your father-in-law, doesn't matter. It is where you are today. It is where you are today. And you need to have that awakening just like that lost son, that you know what, the riches are on the other side. Now I am not speaking prosperity gospel. Okay? I am not here to say that if you are a Christian you get a lot of money. And I am not here to say that if you are a Christian you are a dead poor. These are two different things. Money is immoral in my faith. I can use this hand to hug a person, I can use this hand to shoot somebody. It is the heart that matters. It's the same thing with money. You can build hospitals and feed the widows and the orphans. You can use the same money to harbor terrorism. Doesn't matter what you use it for. It's the heart that matters. And once that lost son had that awakening, he was honest to himself. And he made that action to go to his father's house. So today, you have a whole lot of debt in your household. It is like a snake in the middle of a living room and you're walking around as if that snake doesn't exist. You can ignore it. You can blame for the builder. You can blame for anything, but snake is there. But one day, it's going to bite you. It happened in my household in 2008. If it has already not happened to you, it's going to fight you. And so, you need to take action. And the pastor has offered a great resource over here. In the next Friday and Saturday, you are going to have seminar. You will be bombarded with more information that you can even take on. I can promise you that. Now, why is information powerful? In the book of Hosea, chapter 4, 6, the Bible says that my people are lost for the lack of knowledge. So when somebody comes to you and says that, hey, this is good for you, you can use your intelligence rather than your emotion and say that, you know what, it is not good for me, but for you, I'm not buying it. I'm not signing on it. I have seen hundreds of people sign on these documents and get into trouble later. You need to have information. And so, you will have that opportunity the next couple of, this coming weekend. I know that my time is limited, I wanted to wrap it up. 17 years back when I came to this country, I used to hear this song, Star Spangled Banner. Now, I used to get goosebumps when I hear the Star Spangled Banner, especially the last line. What did he say? It's the land of the free and home of the brave. Land of the free and the home of the brave. But 17 years down the line, and meeting with hundreds of couples, I can tell you one thing. It's not true. It is the land of the captive. We are captive to the MasterCards, the Amex, and the car notes. And it's the home of the broke. It's the land of the captive, and it's the home of the broke. Now you have an opportunity to change it. Now when you hear these words today, do not harden your hearts in rebellion. Hebrews 3:15. You have an opportunity to change. Now, when you go out of this door, you have two choices. You can ignore everything that I said, and your life is not going to change, and then you can wonder what happened, because definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Or you can take action today, come next Thursday, Friday and Saturday, get empowered and change your financial situation, change your family tree, and leave a legacy for the generations to come, and be a blessing for other people. The choice is yours. I hope you make the right choice. Thank you.